agenda.
Can you be more specific about what your
I'm going
plans
to
are?
work on a constitutional convention, to restore the 10th Amendment, the primacy of it, a balanced budget, since obviously we can't pass that in the Senate or the House. So I think there's a couple of things that our founders put in the Constitution so we can actually limit the size and chokehold of the federal government on our economy and our people.
Senator Adam, how are you feeling about South Dakota? It seems like that race has been heating up for you guys. Are you
We
worried?
still feel very comfortable about South Dakota. Polls are very narrow in lots of races across the country. South Dakota is not one of them. Governor Rounds remains double digits ahead in all the polls that I've seen. And I know from conversations I've had today with folks in South Dakota, hard at work, and he is expected to win, and we believe that's the case.
And what about Kansas? How personal is this for you?
You know, I care about lots of races across the country. As a chairman of the Senate, how am I supposed to answer this question in front of him?
I know, that's why.
Okay, answer it now.
Yeah.
From a Senate campaign committee perspective, we care about all of them. And when I started this job, I thought we had 6 good opportunities. We now have at least a dozen. All of them are very important. But I would say as a person, as an individual, I've known this Pat Roberts. We've worked side by side. From a personal point of view, this is very important.
How do you account for the fact that this race does appear to be so close?
You want to answer this or me?
I want to answer.
All right.
It's all based on untruth. I mean, you have somebody claiming to be something that they're not. And
So
they
you think
put
it's 'cause
they
Kansas
put
voters are
$2.5
too
million
stupid?
behind that with nothing to counter it. And you had a very tough primary in Kansas. So when you come out, it's kind of like me come out and say, "Oh, I want to be inappropriate." I mean, who's going to buy that in Washington? The fact is you have untruth being sold in megabucks in Kansas, and it's got to be defeated, and the truth has to come out. So when you look at where he
But
stands,
this man's been in Congress for 34 years. Shouldn't people be able to vote on, have some recollection of what he's done?
sure they can, and they will.
And yet they don't seem to be doing that.
Well, that's because there was a $2 million silence after the primary that you didn't hear.
Whose responsibility was that?
That's all of our responsibility. But the point is, here's the thing. Truth matters. Ultimately, Kansas will figure out they're getting spun by this guy. He's not who he says he is. It's a wonderful package. If you believe in fairy tales, it has nothing to do with truth. And what he said about leadership in the Senate doesn't fit or comport with any of the rules that are in the Senate. So to me, it's a bag of worms that are being sold to Kansas. And as soon as they figure it out and open it up, they're going to say, we're not buying this.
I think they're already doing that. I mean, how many times have you heard me say that the road to the Republican majority comes right through Kansas? And in addition, that this isn't all about me, this isn't all about Pat Roberts. This is the future of the country. And the president himself said, again, several days ago, that this is a referendum on his policies, his programs. And I don't care what Greg Orman says he is now in terms of an independent. You can say, look, I'm a unicorn, but he's not a unicorn. He is a liberal Democrat. And once the people know that in Kansas, and we're getting our message out, and we're also getting the message out for the good things that we have done and the partnerships we have had over the same 34 years that you're mentioning. So our message is getting out. We have momentum. We are now ahead in some of the polls. And so I'm very confident about this. We're going to win this race.
Senator Roberts, would you like to see the NRSC put some money into this state? Here's your chance to ask.
Here you go.
I think that's already been done.
Can you extrapolate on that? What do you mean exactly?
No, it's just that I've been. The cavalry came over the hill.